Let's dive right in. So you're talented, you've got this amazing website, you're putting out great stuff, and yet it's just crickets, total silence. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the single biggest reason you feel invisible online, and more importantly, what you can do to fix it, starting right now.
Okay, let's just start with a bit of a hard truth, because it really gets to the heart of the problem. If your business is trying to be everything to everyone, you end up being nothing to no one. It's a tough pill to swallow, I know, but trust me, getting this one concept is the first major step toward actually being seen.
And this leads us to something I call the invisibility trap. It's this belief that if you just cast a wider net, you're bound to catch more fish. But online, especially today, that strategy is a guaranteed ticket to getting completely lost in an ocean of noise. All right, let's make this super practical. Just imagine for a second you're on Google. You have a very specific, very real problem you need to solve. You type it in, and you see two results pop up. Which one are you going to click? Yeah, the specific one. It wins every single time. And why is that? Well, because it speaks directly to your brain. It says, hey, I don't just solve problems, I solve your problem. It screams expertise. And here's the kicker. Google's entire algorithm is built to reward exactly this kind of specificity.
So what's the real damage of being so general? Well, your entire SEO strategy just gets watered down. You're trying to rank for everything, which means you end up ranking for nothing. Your content gets shallow because you can't possibly go deep on a million different topics. You just blend in. It's a battle you literally cannot win.
And this brings us to this really interesting paradox of niching down. It feels so counterintuitive, right? It feels like you're making your world smaller. But the truth is, by focusing on less, you actually open the door to so much more. And this is it, isn't it? This is the number one fear. I can almost hear you thinking it right now. But if I get super specific, aren't I just shutting the door on all these other potential customers? It's a totally fair question, and it's what holds almost everyone back. But here's the surprising, almost magical truth of it all. The exact opposite happens. Specializing doesn't put a ceiling on your business. It gives it a launch pad. So how does this actually work? Well, first off, your conversion rates just go through the roof. Because when the right person lands on your site, they don't see another option, they see the option. Second, you start to completely own those high-intent keywords. You know, the phrases people type in right before they're ready to buy. And third, your content becomes a real authority, the kind of stuff other websites want to link to, which is basically SEO gold. Okay, so let's pop the hood for a second and talk about why this is so powerful from a technical standpoint. You have to remember, search engines like Google, they have one main job. Give the user the best, most relevant, most authoritative answer possible. And specificity, that's the language of relevance and authority. And this is where the real magic is. It's in these long-tail keywords. Instead of fighting this massive, impossible battle for a huge term like marketing, you can completely own a phrase like local SEO for independent garden centers. Sure, fewer people search for it, but the person who does, they are your perfect customer. That's where the real opportunity is hiding. Okay, enough with the theory. Siri is great, but I know what you really want to see. You want to see the numbers. So let's look at a real-world case study of a business that was completely transformed by this one shift. So, here was the setup. This client was a super generic marketing consultant for small businesses. Sound familiar? And they were totally stuck. We helped them shift their entire focus to becoming the marketing expert for sustainable food brands. It seems like such a small change on paper, but just watch what happened. First, let's talk organic traffic. They were basically flatlining at maybe 200 visitors a month. 6 months after niching down, they were pulling in 2,400 visitors every single month. That's a 12x increase, just by finally becoming visible to the right people. But look, traffic is just a vanity metric if those people don't do anything. Their conversion rate, the number of people who actually took action, jumped from a measly 1.2% all the way up to 4.7%. This proves it wasn't just more people finding them, it was the right people finding them. And here it is, the knockout punch. Their average project value went up by 63%. Why? Simple. When you're the go-to expert, you're not competing on price anymore. You're competing on expertise, and clients will happily pay a premium for that. They literally became more profitable by serving fewer people. So at this point, you've seen why this works. You've seen the proof that it works. The big question left is, how do you do it? So let's walk through a super actionable playbook to help you find your own profitable niche. Finding your niche isn't about just randomly guessing, it's a strategic decision. It's about finding the intersection of three things: what you're genuinely good at and passionate about, what the market actually needs, and where there's an audience that isn't being served well. Right there, where those three things overlap, that's your sweet spot. All right, here's your 5-step plan. Step 1, take a hard, honest look at your current website. Is it generic? Step 2, look at your best clients, your favorite projects. What do they all have in common? There are clues there. 3, rewrite all your messaging to be laser focused. 4, rebuild your keyword list from the ground up, all around that niche. And 5, start creating amazing content that proves without a doubt that you are the expert. And I know what some of you are thinking, but what if I pick the wrong niche? And that's a valid worry. But listen, your positioning online, it's not a tattoo. It's not permanent. You can always shift, you can always pivot. The one thing you can't do is stay generic. That is the only guaranteed path to getting nowhere. So I really want you to reframe this whole idea in your head. Stop thinking of a niche as this little box that's going to limit you. It's not a limitation. In this crowded online world, it is your single greatest competitive advantage. It's how you finally stand out. So I'll leave you with one final challenge. Go to your website right now. Look at your homepage like you're a complete stranger. Can you tell in 5 seconds flat exactly who you help and what problem you solve? If the answer is no or even maybe, you know exactly what you need to do. It's time to get specific.